So grateful, so thankful for the power of love within us. Grateful and thankful for the peace of God that knows no limitations, no opposition, no hardship. So grateful to allow ourselves to truly be steeped in our perfection, our wholeness, to join together in recognition of the love of God as our very life and being. So grateful to come together to give and receive support, inspiration, dynamic healing is at play. So grateful that this is the moment now. We have chosen this divine opportunity to anchor ourselves into our wholeness. Very, very grateful. Grateful to allow, to accept, to be in the flow of love. It's happening now. So I know that the word spoken is blessed, that our time together is blessed, and we share the benefits of our healing and our expansion with everyone, everywhere, because we're one with them. We let it be, and so it is. Amen. 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 Yeah. So we don't have a musician today, so I am going to share a song from YouTube, and this is a song that we sang in the Agape International Choir, and I loved singing this song so much. And you'll actually see me in the video. And the song is called The Power of Love. And I remember hearing it when I was in the audience at Agape. And I knew, that I got a very clear insight. Your ministry is called the Power of Love Ministry. And so that was a long time ago. That was maybe in the 90s, probably. And so I knew that was the name. And then I joined the choir, and it's just a joyful song, and I think it's appropriate to play it and share it. So this is a live rendition from the Agape space that we had at that time. And let's just see, get that turned on here. And I'm going to share this video with you, and turn this on, and here we go. And let's see, you will see me. I think that's me there. I think I'm wearing purple that day. And yep, I think that's me. So you'll see me. There's one good shot of me singing in the choir. So let's see, what does it say? What is this? When was this recorded? 15 years ago, 2009. All right, so at least that's when they uploaded it. Okay, here we go. I didn't mean to stop it like that. I meant to, anyway. Um, yeah, so fun. I loved singing in that choir. I did that for 11 years, and it was one of the most healing experiences of my life to sing those songs with those people. And the woman who was leading the choir there, Ricky Byers, she wrote that song. She wrote most of the songs we sang, and it was a powerful healing time. And one of the things it taught me is the healing power of our word and just anchoring into a powerful and mighty word. And many people are familiar with what it says in A Course in Miracles, that we're far too tolerant of mind wandering, far too tolerant of mind wandering. And one of the ways we mind wander is we don't pay attention to our word. And I'm very grateful that my years of training in the science of mind teachings taught me that I need to be extremely aware of what I'm saying and what it means, or what I am intending, what I think it means. And people are very casual with their thoughts and with their words, and they think, it doesn't matter. And I can remember when I was in the early days of my classes and training at Agape, I understood that, oh, you don't want to talk trash about people. It's a low vibration. Get on the path of higher vibration and stay there. And still, a person can be like, oh, but I have some gossip, you know, I have some good old gossip. Now they call it spilling the tea, right? And I remember a number of times being with my prayer partners and friends and gossiping and knowing mentally that this is not a high vibration. This is a low vibration. I'm consciously choosing a low vibration, but I wanted to do that. I wanted to have that uh, conversation and talk about those things. And what I have learned over the years is that our holiness, our higher Holy Spirit self, our true identity is always seeking to make itself known through us and as us. And we get identified with the personality, we lose track of who we are, and it is having a split mind. And in that split mind, we understand that these things are not a good idea. These things are not loving, they're not kind, they're not healthful, they're not restorative, renewing, revitalizing. They are low vibration, they're destructive, they are not healthful, not helpful. And yet we choose them anyway. And certainly I've done my share of that. And I talk about all that and how I got out of a lot of that experience, because then I would feel guilty and ashamed that I knew better, but I didn't do better. And it took me a long, long, long time to realize that that was part of why I did it, was because in my thinking, I didn't think I was good enough to be good all the time, that was for somebody else, but not for me. And I just didn't think it was possible to be good or loving or kind all the time. And so I didn't aspire to it, just do better, but not aspire to really being loving and kind all the time. And we live in a world that is we see it all the time. It used to be that people would make products and they would try to make it the very best that they could. And then there became this realization that, well, if we don't make it so good, if we have what they call built-in obsolescence, so it's designed to go bad after a while, so you have to buy another one. You have to buy the latest model. If you build it that way, then you make more money. And money is what it's all about. It's about money. It's not about making something great that's really helpful to people. It's about how much money can we get for this? And can we get them to buy another one, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? And there is, it's interesting, simultaneously, there is an upgrade that's going on in humanity. And simultaneously, there's a fight, it feels like to me, for staying small, staying in the wrong mind, staying in the littleness through choosing lower vibrational activities and thoughts. And what I've been noticing is that I used to feel like there were so many things, so many movies I wanted to see and different TV series that I wanted to see. And oh, so many things. Oh, I'd like to experience that. I'd like to watch that, know about that. And now it's just less and less is actually calling me or interesting to me. And really, the thing that's most interesting to me pretty much all of the time is, let's just get together and see how we are. Like, how are you? I want to know how you are. I'd like to know how you are. And how am I? I'm interested in how I am. And um, I'm I'm interested in what we think and what we feel and what we're choosing. And that's far more interesting to me than a lot of what's going on in the world. And I notice that if I sit down to watch television, which I do, I definitely do, and I'm gonna watch some entertainment, I find that there's so little I'm actually interested in anymore on television. And I will start watching something with some of my favorite actors, and then it's like, oh, I can tell this is meaningless. Yeah, I don't need to watch this. And things that sometimes people really, really love, uh, I just I can't quite bring myself to watch it. It's not clever enough. It's not teaching me anything. It's not really telling some truth. It's just artifice, and a lot of it is that these days people are really, really fascinated, or and maybe they're not fascinated, they're just entertained by people who are mean, people who are unkind, people who have really skewed values, and who at the center of their life, it's empty. And every now and then you find something that's about that to a certain degree. And that can actually be quite interesting. And we live in a world of the Instagram influencers and all of that. And that seems for many people to be a kind of an ideal career pathway, to be an Instagram influencer. And uh, I'm curious about what's at the heart of that. What is driving that? Is it that people just need to have somebody paying attention to them? They just need to feel validated because they don't feel good about themselves. And so there's a lot of this coming up for healing in the world right now. And the temptation might be to just judge it and just say, yeah, that's a waste of time. Oh, that's not good. But what if we can look at these things instead and see something that's being healed, something that's being brought to the light, something that is being um, discovered in that. And so there's a tendency to look at various things in the world and just dismiss it. I don't like that. I'm dismissing it. But what if instead we can say, okay, Spirit, what's that about? What is that really about? What is that for? And it does seem to me that there are many things happening in the world where it's really about people lowering their standards or having no standards, and just accepting everything that's going on as being worthwhile because it's happening, and 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 that it's perfectly acceptable to just tear other people down. It's perfectly acceptable to attack other people for the things that y- uh, y- y- you will then turn around and do yourself. We see a lot of that happening in the world now. And so the temptation can be to just criticize it and to just write it off. But I think of these things as cries for help, cries for help. And so, how do we handle those cries for help that are in the media? For instance, there's a lot of talk now that the media, it used to be kind of a watchdog, that there would be um, news reporting that would expose duplicity and expose people who were mercenary and things like that. And now the media is reporting on them without giving any kind of they're even glorifying them, the people who are behaving in a mercenary way. And uh, all of this is getting stirred up now. And so there's a temptation to really tune things out. What about just seeing it all as a cry for love and being willing to really use every bit of it that we happen to notice in our life as an opportunity for us to work at the level of the mind? So we can have experiences. Um, I know this has been something that I've been uh, working on for, oh, maybe a decade now. Just the judgment arises in my mind. Oh, that's so stupid. Oh, those people are idiots. And then, wait a minute. No, something is happening there. There's a cry for love there. What is that cry for love that's happening there? Can I answer that cry for love with love? And what would that look like? What would that look like to answer the cry for love with love when it's something that's happening in the news, when it's something that's happening on TV or in the newspaper, in the magazine? And can we move out of any place where we're just judging what's going on? Can we open ourselves to, well, you know what? Just like Dr. Hu Lin in that hospital, practicing Ho'oponopono, bringing it to the light and bringing forth extraordinary, miraculous healing. We can do that with these situations. We just have to be willing to use the power of the word, the power of the mind, the power of God within us. And just think, if everybody did that with something they judged, that they went into prayer around it and with a strong intention to heal it and bring it to the light. Where do we allow ourselves to just write things off and be judgmental. I have a friend of mine who says things like, well, I'm not like you. I have my judgments and I'm not going to give them up. I have a number of friends actually who have said that to me, which I totally understand. And what does it get you? That's what I wonder sometimes. I I love them as they are. I'm not trying to change them, and I'm not their spiritual teacher, so I'm not trying to teach them about any of that. Um, these are friends I've known a long time, so I just accept what is, and I live the way I live. They live the way they live, and we meet in the place where the love connection is. And still, I think that many spiritual students, if not most of them, are not fully empowered. They're not thinking, oh, this situation with this website or this news program or this newspaper or this radio station. I can do ho'oponopono on that. I can make prayers around that. I can hold it differently in my mind. I can help bring it to the light. So I think that's an important thing that we can work on, we can pay attention to, we can do together. Sometimes things seem so big, like it's so big. How could I shift that? But I think of Dr. Hu Lin sitting in that hospital with a hospital full of patients who were out of their minds and an entire staff of people who were so unhappy. And the building itself is falling apart. But he didn't say, "Oh, this is too much. I can't do this," because he didn't think he was doing it. I was teaching forgiveness workshop yesterday and today, and that's one of the things that is the most important point I can make in those forgiveness workshops is that we don't do the healing. Like I've said many, many, many healing prayers where the healing happened. But and I understand how prayer works, right? It works in the one mind. And at the same time, I don't call myself a healer because really the only person I can heal is me. And I can't heal another person. That doesn't seem possible to me. I can join with somebody and help facilitate their healing for sure. But I don't ever think that I am a healer healing them, healing other people. Although I have friends who do, they think of themselves as healers healing other people. Um, we're here to be that healing, helpful presence. And A Course in Miracles says, I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. And I like to say it this way. I like to say, I am healed and I let God teach me to heal. So for me, I like saying it as I'm a healing presence. I'm a helpful presence. I feel that strongly. I feel good about that. I'm not uncomfortable with it, but I don't feel as though I, in my personality, has any kind of healing power. I know it is the I am that I am that is the active healer. And I am so grateful that when I say yes to the healing for somebody else, I have a healing too, because that's how it works to have, give all to all. So being that healing presence in my own life and then extending it outwards, it amplifies the healing that I am experiencing. And to me, that's a powerful part of living A Course in Miracles, is that willingness to be a healing presence no matter where I go. And I don't think about it as I am the one who is doing the healing. I'm allowing the healing to happen. I'm calling it forth. I'm part of the broadcast system of healing. And it makes me happy to be part of that healing system and to know that there really is no opposition in the mind of God, that we have already said our yes. And so it's occurring and unfolding because of that. Hmm. Yes. So I'm going to invite you to place your hands on your heart. Take some deep breaths through the nose. Let's just do a scan of our life right now. Is there anything going on in the world where we're choosing to judge? We're abdicating being that healing presence, being truly helpful, and instead we're just choosing to judge, to complain. Is that something that's happening anywhere in our life? Because we can fall into that pretty quickly. Any place in your life where you feel like you've fallen into judging something that feels far outside yourself, like a major corporation, politician, a system, a group of people. And, it's kind of that thing, if you spot it, you got it. Are you willing to take responsibility for it appearing on the screen of your life? Because that's really what part of the Ho'oponopono practice is. It is the willingness to acknowledge, to accept, to take responsibility for what you see. And A Course in Miracles tells us that is the only thing that's needed for us to have total happiness, is to take responsibility for what we see, to 100% give up complaining. I remember hearing Edwin Gaines, the wonderful minister, talking about path of prosperity is one with no complaining. And she would invite people to stop complaining for 28 days, 28 days with no complaints. And when she would bring that up, people would kind of throw their heads back and gasp and shake their heads. It can't be done. How do I do that? And she'd say, well, it's okay. You just, if you find yourself complaining, just start again. Just start again. Just keep going though. Just keep going. And I think that is a great way to think of it, a great way to do it, is just keep starting again, starting again. And really, that's part of what I have done. So in this moment, just thinking about anything in the world that we have judged, complained about, but we didn't feel like it was our responsibility. What if we make it our responsibility? And so we practice Ho'oponopono for that thing. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I like to start with I love you. So I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. So just saying that a few times here for something in our life that we don't like, we wish were different. And we recognize it's a cry for love, that thing, that corporation, that system, that person. There's a cry for love there. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So, what if we just agree that when we see something that feels like a cry for love, that we are going to do that Ho'oponopono prayer 3 times? 3 times. Nothing big, arduous, long, nothing that would be, I don't want to do that. It's not that hard. Doesn't take that long. Seconds, really. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Can do it in under 15 seconds. And if we do it knowing that it is a powerful activity of God's mind, and if we're willing to know that our mind is the mind of God and our doing that be all that's needed for the healing to happen, for the transformation to occur. Dr. Hu Lin was just one man who transformed the entire hospital. And it didn't actually take him that long. And so, before we close out this meditation moment, is there anything in our life that we are still blaming on somebody else? Anything that we're not taking responsibility for? Can we do that right now? Can we take responsibility for it and do the 3 Ho'oponoponos for that thing? So getting it clearly, firmly in our mind. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so I'm going to invite you to rest in that energy. I'm going to play another song here. Mm.
When I was a boy, each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still, and now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Questioning child's faith, say it's not a testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament, tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Beautiful song, isn't it? Really beautiful. Are you familiar with that song, people? Yeah. Lorraine says yes. So I think since we're a small group today, feels very intimate. We always do a breakout, and I'm just going to invite people if they'd like to share. We're doing a Facebook Live, so people might not feel comfortable doing sharing on a Facebook Live, but can always put something in the chat if you like. But I'm curious, what are the things in your life that you can see that maybe you've been judging it and it's a cry for love, and you could do this Ho'oponopono practice or whatever prayer practice you like, something from A Course in Miracles, um, and be that fulcrum point of healing in that uh, part of your own mind, right? You're part of your own experience. So I'm just curious if anybody is that's something they'd like to share, and maybe just take it off spotlight here. Angela.
Yeah, I appreciated. I'm so glad I came. I nearly, that those days where you're like, well, I have things I have to do. And I'm like, just go to the thing. But it's not something very far outside. It's really family. It's really a family member. And when I'm the subtle voice within guides me to see their tenderness and their struggle. And I see it. And it seems like on top of that is an intellectual analysis of what do I do with that? I don't know what to do with that.
Right.
Like the behavior they're expressing. Well, what does that mean for me? And what does that mean for our family? And what does that mean? And that is feels so loud. And so I appreciated being reminded about Ho'oponopono and the Hulen and seeing my own home as the hospital, because just to have it reframed, just knowing that the subtle voice and within me is the awareness and the desire to approach it that way. And then it's sometimes for me, it can feel like the fear of letting someone off the hook is actually unloving. I should hold them accountable. That's what's loving. And then my mind gets really bogged down and like then, but if it's as if that's all I desire is someone to say to me clearly, no, all you do is this. No, all you do is this. Because that I can do. There's something I'm learning more of my personality. My personality wants, like in my mental programming, it wants the right CD. It wants the right, whatever the track is. So I can just press play. And I just press play.
Right.
And then I know what I'm doing. I'm committed to it. I have something within me that can be very committed. So it's like, I just want to commit to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I don't always feel super clear that what I'm committing to is the truth, because there can be the self-doubt that I'm missing something. But coming here today, it's like that reminder, like it's just more of what is the way to approach something that does feel different than what I would do. And it actually can feel very triggering that it's a behavior from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like compounding and like that. But the truth came through for me today. So I feel grateful. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that. I was looking for a quote that I saw. I can't find it now. I had it on my phone, I thought. Oh, I think I posted it in WhatsApp. a week or two ago, actually. Um, I forget exactly who it was, but they said, um, I kept thinking I needed to change, like there was something wrong with me and I needed to change. And people kept telling me I needed to change. And then somebody came along and said, don't change. You're perfect just as you are. And then his mind relaxed and then he changed. And so for me, one of the things I'm hearing in what you're saying, Angela, is it is it's a real journey to in relationship, right? Do we hold people accountable to keep their word and things like that? And how do we do that in a loving way? And is it our job to hold people accountable? And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't, you know? And what's the loving thing? And it's a journey. It's a journey because how many of us saw our family members holding each other accountable in a very loving way? You know, saying things like, I know you said that you wanted to get those errands done today. Um, can I help you in any way with that? Because they're just sitting there watching television collapsed into a TV coma. It's like, I know you said you had all these things you were going to do today. Would you like me to help you with that? And how do we do that without triggering their self-judgment? I mean, it's all very tricky. And that's why when people ask me, what do you do when this happens? What do you do when that? And I say, the first thing is you have to open your loving heart and go to spirit and not think you already know. Yeah, because it's going to be unique to that situation. If we can be in that unique moment where the opportunity is not to correct somebody and not to get them to do something or get them to stop doing something, but just to be with them in a loving way. So much, that's so productive, but it's not what we're taught, right? It's not how we're raised. It's not part of our mind training. So that's the thing. And even A Course in Miracles doesn't give us examples. A lot of examples. Because it'll say things like, to love your brother and they're your salvation, and don't judge them, and it'll give you things like that, but it doesn't say, okay, when they leave their clothes all over the floor and make a mess in the kitchen and then leave the house knowing you're going to have to look at that stuff all day long, how do you be loving with them then? It doesn't say that to us. So that's what we get to talk about as Course in Miracles students. We're figuring it out together. We're dialoguing about it together. And that's what brings that healing, that transformation, is our joining together to have a new understanding. And okay, these are the principles. How do we actually apply them? So, yeah. Yeah, that's powerful what you're talking about there, Angela. Yeah. Do you feel like you covered it, or you'd like to say anything more?
Thank you. I feel complete. Thank you.
Okay. Dean.
Yeah, hi Jennifer. Hi Angela. Hello everybody. Behind the curtain. Um, yeah, what came to my mind, I really got during the it took me deep, the Ho'oponopono prayer as you were saying it, because I realized any grievance I have of another is an opportunity for my own healing. because it has nothing to do with them, really. We should thank them for quote unquote upsetting us, because that shows us where we have a place to find a better way.
Yeah.
Because because you know what? I subscribe to all these newspapers and I read the headlines and I want the, Ukrainians to kick those Russians' asses, things like that. And yet, after doing all that, it doesn't leave me in a good place, just like as it doesn't leave me in a good place when it's entertaining for a moment, it occupies my time for a moment, but it's like having a grievance against a family member for maybe leaving dirty dishes, and instead of making a request, that's what I've learned. It's these practical matters of life that we think have nothing to do with spirituality that our portal, as Eckhart Tolle would say, they're our portal to heaven. That's our opportunity to choose again, to find a better way. And excuse me. Um, yeah, so I really got the Ho'oponopono prayer and how the reason it's healing, because all healing is our own healing. All forgiveness is our own forgiveness. I'll never forget Tara Singh, Course in Miracles teacher. I never had the opportunity to meet, but I've read a couple of his books. And he was the executive of CARE, the International Relief Organization. And he said that the world's problems cannot be solved externally. So all this stuff I read in the newspaper and root for the good guy, it's not going to be solved there. It's going to be solved in my own soul, in my own, I don't know, surrender, really, to getting it solved. And I'll just wrap up by saying that the grievance I've had is my wife is driving me bankrupt. But I love her so much that I'm willing to go bankrupt for love. And it's probably not going to come to that. That's my fear, see, but that's just the fear I'm projecting, right? So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. When we're open to healing, healing happens. How about you, Nisi? Would you like to share anything? Just a reminder, we're on the Facebook Live. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You guys are all so well spoken. I'll just keep mine brief because those are all big shoes to fill. It makes me definitely want to revisit the Ho'oponopono book.
Good.
And really get more information out of that. Because I feel like I'm in kind of a similar area as Hulin in a way. I mean, I'm not a physician or anything, but I work with a lot of people. And my role is I work one-on-one, helping them be more functional in their lives. And I really use A Course in Miracles all the time to just be helping when I hear things like when, a lot of these people come from very unfortunate, circumstances. And when I just hear things, I do what I can to try and help in their lives with like big picture stuff, like saying, love is the strongest force, or, whatever I can to just feel like I'm helping. You know how you talked about that CD, you wanted to download a CD of the right ways to think, just trying to help with something that can be like a little key for something. But yeah, I need to revisit the book again and just see how much is just with me and my own thoughts towards them, and how much I'm trying to, help them with their own kind of perception of the world. And they haven't asked me to be their teacher, but I often feel like there's so much I could say to help.
Yes. I've always felt that the most helpful thing I could offer another person is just to love them as they are and to not think they needed to change, and to really know that they're beautiful, they're magnificent as they are. And that, what I found, uh, the miracle that I experienced was that my doing that for my counseling clients, because that's what I was trained to do as a Science of Mind prayer practitioner, is to see them as already perfect and not lacking in any way. And so really just moving into that space of true total non-judgment and sitting with my clients who are telling me about their problems and being able to hold them that way. Just all I had was willingness. That's all that I had, because I didn't really know, like, exactly how do you see the Christ in them? How do you see, right? How do you do that? Like, how do you know when you're seeing the Christ versus maybe just a nice guy? I mean, it's like, these are the questions that people have. How do you know that's the Christ that you're seeing? And so to me, it's very much about intention. I have intention to see the Christ. I have intention to know the Christ, to live the Christ, and to just love them as they are and not think that they needed to be different, but also knowing that they could shift and change if they had a desire to do so. And so it's that's how I learned that love is actually the healer of things, and that when every time I could sit with my client and do that, I had a healing. They have a healing, but I have a healing. I have a healing. And so every client who came to me became my opportunity for healing. And that's the practice of Ho'oponopono, is to take responsibility for whatever dysfunction appears on the screen of life, whether it's in a person or a situation, to take responsibility for it and to recognize I wouldn't be seeing it if my mind didn't have I wouldn't be seeing it as dysfunctional if my mind didn't have some agreement with that. And so when my mind is healed, the situation will heal. And I see this happen all the time with people in Masterful Living and Finding Freedom. They're doing that with their family members and their situations. They're willing to stop judging and holding grievances and grudges about it, and instead recognize, no, I have the power of love within me, and it's my responsibility to see this correctly. And it's very challenging at times, right? We all know that. It's very, very challenging at times. I would say there's nothing more challenging than to see ourselves and other people as perfect, right where they are, to love them right where they are, to love without conditions. I don't think there's anything more challenging in the world than that. And that is the thing that heals our mind, right? So right at the beginning of the course, it says, seek not to change the world, but to change your mind about the world. So seek not to change your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your child, but to change your mind about them. Yeah. So you can do that. Yeah. And I say it's such good work if you can get it. And we all have it, so we've all got it. Yay. It only seems like a burden when we don't actually want to do it. Because if we're willing, Spirit will do it through us as us. It's not about our personality. Anybody else like to share? Well, I will, I'm going to make a couple of quick announcements, and I'll play another song and say a prayer. And I did 2 forgiveness workshops this weekend, and they were each about 3 hours long. It was 2 hours, and then I did an hour of Q&A afterwards. And just so much healing happened. I could really feel it. So I feel very blessed to be able to offer those free workshops. And I invite folks to come to them. I think I'm going to do another one. I don't know if I can do one next weekend. I've got my family here. We'll see how it goes. So I'd like to give them my attention, but definitely the weekend after that. And feels like this, it's so important to do that right now. And such happy work. And so your donations and support make it possible for us to do those things, also make it possible for us to have partial scholarships for masterful living and things like that. So thank you for all those who donate and support. And another way you can always support this ministry is by writing a podcast. What do you call it? Testimonial. Yeah. Writing a review on whatever podcast app you use, if you listen to my podcast, and to just like and comment and share on social media. It just means that those algorithms recognize that what we're sharing is valuable. And so it makes a difference. And so if you're on social media, doing that helps. I'm on Blue Sky now, and I'm on TikTok, and yeah, so TikTok is back. So went away for a minute and it came back. Yeah, it's fully back. I don't know what's going on with it, but that's a really interesting situation. It's a very, very interesting situation. Yeah. So yeah, it's complicated, and there's massive quantities of smoke and mirrors are being applied to our life today. So, all right. My dog Bodhi is ringing the bell. So I am going to play a song, and then I'll say a prayer. And this is a wonderful song. I don't know if Justine can come back. I thought she would like this video in this song. So let's see here. See if she comes.
Wake up and smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. But this child awaits, strong in the faith. Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let a day go, can't let a day go by without thanking you for the joy that you bring to my life. And there's something about the way your sun shines on my face. It's a love so true, I can never get enough of you. This feeling can't be wrong. I'm about to get my worship on, take me away. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When trouble seems to rain on my dreams, it's not a big deal. Let it wash all the bugs off my windshield, 'cause you're showing me that in you I'm free, and you're still the refuge that I've just got to get to. So I won't let a day go, Your love shines on my face. Oh no, I can never get enough of you. This feeling can't be wrong. I'm about to get my worship on. I'm gonna sing a brand new song. Yeah, I'm about to get my worship on. Take me away on this beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Such a beautiful day.
Isn't that great? Yeah. I'll tell you, it's a great song to just, if you're feeling a little so-so, put that on, jump around, you'll feel better immediately. Yeah. All right. We are grateful. We are thankful for the power of love within us. Grateful and thankful that we have spiritual tools to live a life of love. We are grateful and thankful that it is our nature to be loving, to be kind, to be tuned in and tapped in. We are grateful to surrender any attachments we have to a false view, a false self, to limiting thoughts and ideas. We are grateful to recognize that no matter what, at all times, in all situations, God's infinite grace is the foundation of our life. We are loved unconditionally. Nothing real can be threatened. And we are that real love of God. We are grateful to share the benefits of our loving life, our willingness with everyone everywhere, because we're one with them. In gratitude, we allow it to be, and so it is. Amen. 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 I got the hiccups. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nisi. Thank you, Dean. Love to all. Mwah.